My name is Sarah Bush, and I'm a Senior Program Manager in Core Services Engineering for Microsoft. Our organization is responsible for all Microsoft users, over 240,000 users inside our organization. And today, actually all week, we've been doing a lot of talking about our move to Teams. As you know, probably, we are on Skype for Business for all of our communications. That is our communications platform today, and Teams. So we're making this transition off of Skype and onto Teams for all chat, calling, and meetings. Not a small thing when you're talking about 240,000 people and a team of about 10 to do it. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how we're doing this at scale. The whole thing is a bigger story end to end, but I want to talk today in this session about what we're doing around thinking about our impact, both in how we're informing our users, how we're training our users, and then looking at what their usage is and how it's changing by that impact and over time. This is something that we've been working on very hard as an enterprise, saying, how do we move our people? So it's been an interesting journey. I'm going to take you through some of my charts and things. I can't do a live demo of the tool for you because of all of the live information in it, so bear with me and I'll talk you through it, and then we'll do a Q&A. Okay, our journey to Teams only mode. Oh, come up front, join me. I want to talk about a couple of definitions that we had to define for ourselves. Adoption Active User, AAU. This means somebody who has done anything in Teams. It's a Microsoft user who has done any action at all in Teams. And there are what they call panel actions in Teams, and there are over 800 of them. So you can already think about what that might mean when you're looking at usage for Teams, right? I liked something. Was I really deeply using Teams? or I shared a file or something of that nature, when what our goal is to move people our first goal is to move people off of Skype and onto Teams. 800 panel functions aren't going to give us a real good idea if they're ready to use those functions in Teams. So what we also developed is a metric called parity function. And that means that it is a chat, a meeting, or a call in Teams. And let me clarify that. A chat that's initiated by the user, a meeting that is joined by the user. So they could either join somebody else's Teams meeting or create one themselves, or a call that is joined by the user. They either join another call, answer a call, or they create one themselves. So let me walk you through what I'm showing here on the screen. If you look at this top number, 91.2% active usage, looking good. That's what we're doing on Teams. But remember what I said about panel functions. If we as an organization are trying to answer the question, how do we know when they're ready for us to take Skype for Business away, and we look at that number, we're not seeing the real truth. If you look at the number underneath it, it says 63.3. That's a parity function. That means in the last rolling 30 days, that many people in our organization have had a chat, joined a meeting, or made a call. So that was very insightful for us. And then you'll see the bottom number, which I have listed in red, is almost 88% usage of Skype for Business. Let me level set again, too, that we have allowed everybody in Microsoft to use either Teams or Skype. So they have a choice. This is not a mandated thing at this point. So we needed to level set on where they were at. Now, I'd like to come over here and talk about this. These represent the different organizations at the EVP level in our company. I'm going to talk you through what those lines mean. The top line is the actual number of people inside that organization, that black line. Underneath it is a green line, and that represents the number of people in that organization who are eligible for what we call Teams-only mode. That means that there are some people, due to regional calling restrictions and other issues, that may not yet be eligible for Teams only because of some calling functionality, and we can talk more deeply about that. but the majority of our users are eligible. So remember that green line. The line beneath that is a dark purple line. That line represents the last 90 days of Teams usage, any function in Teams. So if I look at that, again, just like the 91%, I think, hey, everybody's using Teams. They are, but are they using those functions that we're about to take away from Skype for Business? The line underneath that is the usage in the last 30 days, and perhaps the most important line is the bottom one that's the lightest purple, and that is the parity function usage. So let me just point out, if I'm talking to the leader of this organization here, and we look at the green line, and we look at the light purple line, that org is not ready for Skype for Business to go away. We've got some work to do there. So it was really helpful in facilitating that conversation and saying we've got to drive awareness, we've got to drive training, we've got to drive understanding, market more, communicate more. And I'll tell you, that'll get a person's attention. We also have many pivots, and we can dive deeply. We can dive deeply into any one of those lines for any one of these organizations, right on down. We are very respectful of our users' information, so we don't, we roll up certain things, but we do want to see what's going on so we know where to target and who to help. If you look at this, you'll see that about 42% of all chats are happening in Teams. Again, not bad when you have options and you're used to using a tool. We generally go to what we know because we have, it's our second nature. And it's harder to start something new, even if ultimately it's more productive for us, which we found that it is. I'll show you that on the last slide. Then Teams meetings joined. Let me go a little bit deeper onto this. It does show 13%, but I want to explain part of the reason why. We have not rolled out the Outlook add-in to all of our users yet. You've probably seen this in Skype. It's a little thing in Outlook. You hit the button and it drums up a bridge and everything for you. We have this for Teams, and we're just now rolling that out across all of our organizations. So it's really an enabler for Teams meetings. So this percentage, this 13%, is people going in the application and doing a meeting that way. How many of you have done a meeting through the Teams application? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, right? Also, calling, only about 5%. Still, the good news here is the numbers are going up month over month. We just need them to go up faster. Then this one is kind of a funny one. My partner in crime, Eileen Zhu, put this in here, and it's kind of a double negative. So it's non-parity function usage, meaning the people who are not using chat, calling, and meetings are going down. So it's a good thing. Okay, so I talked to you about the importance of identifying who needs help and getting the help out there. And we've done this in several different ways. I'm going to talk about two of them, and I'm going to talk about the metrics that we developed around it. The first one is something we call the Art of Teamwork Tour, and some of you may have heard me talk about it before. It's a level 100 and a level 200 training. They're 1-hour sessions. We have webinars several times a week in 3 time zones. And we deliver information about Teams, why we're moving, and then we take the users through a live demo, and then we have a Q&A session. The level 100 session is imperative. It takes users through those early functions. How do I set up my notifications? How do I favorite? And what does following mean? How do I turn down the noise? How do I pin and save? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, see, it's so productive, and being and working in Teams, which I'm in Teams only mode for a few months now, it's incredible. It's so productive, but there's this ramp, right? There's this, I didn't know that existed, that I could do that and make this work for me in this way. That's the level 100. Level 200, where the first one is I as a user, how do I engage with Teams? The level 200 is I as a team owner. How do I create channels? How do I bring in bots and connectors? How do I create content in this team that's going to live for a long time and it's going to be easy for us to use, help us be more productive as a group, and also easily onboard anybody else who comes into this project? So I highly recommend, if you are responsible for readiness and adoption like I am, that you do something similar. I'd be happy to help. So we look at this and we say, All right. We're already here. I want to talk about the impact. I wanted to know, when I put these work streams together, are we moving the needle? Are we helping people get to where they need to go so we can make this transition? And the answer is yes, absolutely. This first column is the usage of what we call untouched users, people who have not attended an Art of Teamwork tour. And the column next to it is those who have attended a session, either the level 100 or 200 session. This month, we're doing well in chat. Usually the numbers are higher across the board, but they're quite a bit higher in the other two areas, meetings and calling. The really, really cool thing, though, the really cool takeaway is the last column. The last column represents all the people in the people's orgs who attended Art of Teamwork. The third column, they did not attend the Art of Teamwork. They were impacted by their colleagues' attendance at the Art of Teamwork. So we find when we train one, we impact an average of 6 other people. The nature of teams is collaborative, and what they're doing is they're taking this back to their teams, and they're pulling people in, and they're moving processes in there, and they're starting the chats in there, and they're starting to do meetings. So again, I can't overstate how important it is to have appropriate training. The next thing we're doing, thank you, is a champions program. And we had a deep dive session yesterday, and we have another one tomorrow. I want to talk to you a little bit about this. We thought, how are we going to reach out to 240,000 people in, what are we, 107, how many countries? Anyway, really, really big reach with a few people. And people, I've mentioned it before, learn in different ways. Some people like videos. Some people like to read. Some people like me, like interaction, and I like to ask you questions while I'm doing it. So we thought, we're going to need some help here. We reached out to some different pools of people that we saw were early adopters and really passionate about teams. And we put a champions program together where we taught them how to deliver that Art of Teamwork information I just told you about. And then we gave them a whole kit. We gave them digital signage, told them how to market it in their buildings. We gave them the deck. We gave them a walkthrough on what to do in the demo and our best practices. We gave them a templatized email to send out after the fact with all the resources. So we're trying to spread this far and wide. And we thought we might get a handful of people to help us. It's caught on like wildfire for a few different reasons. We have more than 650 champions, more than 45 countries represented, and 2 days ago, last count, 99 buildings. And so this metric says, do champions make a difference? And I'm here to tell you, oh yeah, they make a difference. Look at the pivot point on chat. They're incredible. I love this. We have monthly meetings and we go through their impact first every time. And there are more onboarding all the time. So a second piece of advice, get the evangelists out there. Get them teaching whatever you're teaching to everybody. Because when we have this one base understanding, even just the level 100, it brings us all along. The other key thing that I'll mention if you have a job like mine is that get the leaders involved. When you move the leaders and you move the people that support the leaders, you bring everybody else along. So look at this. They're choosing to use Teams significantly more over Skype for Business. So really cool. Also very, very high retention in those buildings. Okay, but let's say you guys move to Teams, everything's fine. This is, the short-term look. You got to figure out if they're ready, and then you're all on Teams. Is Teams making you more productive? Is this a good tool? And I'll tell you, we're on that journey. It took us some doing to get to where we are today, and one of our first indicators of increased productivity by using Microsoft Teams is this reduction in email. And the interesting thing about this metric to me is that this is a reduction in the emails I receive. This is not the reduction in the emails I send. This is the reduction in the emails received. So, untouched users, emails going up. What they're receiving is going up. People who have attended the Art of Teamwork training, it's going down, and it's going down more month over month. People that are in the same organizations of those who attended Art of Teamwork training, theirs is also going down, And then finally, the champions are going down too. So we're moving in the right direction. And anecdotally, I can tell you, certainly for myself, and I hear it all the time in the training, they're like, the velocity of my work has increased so much now that my team is working on Teams. It's chat, it's channel, it's @mentions. It's if you're not in it, try it and bring somebody else with you so you can see what I'm talking about. We will be expanding upon this. There, as I said, are over 800 panel actions, so there's very, very rich data. It's getting to what we, getting that data rounded out to what we want to see and helping us tell the story. I want to actually give a moment to turn it over to Pune to talk to you about kind of the next things upcoming, and especially what we're looking at from a change management standpoint with tickets and verbatims and people who, as we move them to Teams only mode, if they opt out, we want to know why and if we've missed something. So.
Thank you, Sarah. Good morning, everyone. We got like 4 minutes left, so I'm going to be really fast. Sarah's done an amazing job, as you guys can see. Metrics, managing this, and understanding who our user is really, really key. So one of the things that we are doing also, we didn't have the dashboard available for you, is managing metrics, adoption, as well as support tickets. So as we're moving phase to phase and rolling out our organizations, scheduled to be completed by the end of calendar year for 240,000+ users, we are making sure that every rollout has visibility to how many support tickets we have, how many people are deferring this, and we have a process in place where we're evaluating this by org. And so when we're monitoring this, we see the number of tickets, who are the people that have been upgraded, and it's an overlay basically on the reporting that Sarah has shown you today. We have a Q&A session later on today at around 3:20, so please come and ask us questions. We have a lot to talk about. We're happy to discuss more. Also on Friday, we have another session, but it really goes down to, as you're moving your migrations forward, keep a pulse. Make sure you understand who the users are, who are the people who need support, who are your champions, and how can you move the needle, right? This is where we get the success to move teams forward. So thank you guys for today. Thank you, Sarah, for all her work. And we hope to see you guys later. I don't know if we have a few minutes.
Absolutely. Time for a couple questions?
Yeah.
Just a short one. The project is quite big, as I understand. Do you have a schedule of when you plan to have everyone across to Teams?
Yeah, absolutely. By the end of the year. So we'll talk about, there are 3 kind of key work streams, and we can do more in the Q&A and go deeper with you too. The first one is to get that Outlook plugin that I mentioned deployed for ease of use in scheduling meetings. The second one is then to move org by org, so we keep the orgs together to Teams only mode. And that's that process where we see anybody opting out or support tickets coming through, what's going on, keep our finger on the pulse there. And then the third thing is our meeting room upgrades. Over 14,000 meeting rooms.
Yeah.
That's going on right now so that they can all work easily with the Microsoft Teams. Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Thank you. How can you effectively get your users and colleagues into the training when they're resistant to it?
It's such a good question. So we didn't, somebody asked me yesterday, did you voluntold the champions? And I'm like, no. No. It's all carrot, no stick. We do that in a few different ways. We have snackable videos. So like I said, people like to learn in different ways. We've got under 5-minute videos that are scenario-based. I just want to know how I have a meeting, right? I just want to know the top 5 things to do in Teams. We got you covered. I just want to know what it's going to be like when I move to Teams only. Tell me in 5 minutes or less. Okay, so there's one way. Another is to have that live session multiple times a week, multiple time zones for us so that it can meet their schedule. And then the champions, it's just core. You've got to find the evangelists. They move the needle. They're out there. And the great thing about Teams is the collaborative nature of it, so they just pull people along with them. So good luck.
One more question?
Attention sponsors and exhibitors, the Microsoft Ignite Expo will I was just wondering, with the data that you're measuring, are you getting that from like the usage analytics pack, or
This is, yeah, the Office, I should have mentioned that, thank you. It's the Office 365 admin content pack. So we took it and we pivoted in these ways because, as I said, there's so much information. We designed what we needed, and we are working with the product group to release this to you guys, something very similar, so that you can have that view too.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Thanks
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Have a great day.
Good luck. It's
We'll
gonna be
see you in the
okay.
afternoon.